I can't get it right. Maybe one more time. One more time. All strong writing begins before the actual act of typing or writing a word. This means killing anything that will distract you from your thoughts. Thoughts that you want clear and concise versus cluttered and disorganized. And then he has like some bullet points. The biggest culprits are notifications from social media, text, chats, or email, your phone, a cluttered environment, cluttered thoughts, people. Well, okay, so a few months ago, me and my wife, we shot a course called Write the Book. It's very straightforward. We kind of just give people practical and semi-spiritual steps on how to just write the book that they feel like, God has called them to write. So one of those things that we have in there, one of the lessons in there is called something I created called Creating the Dojo, which is a very Ronaldo thing to say. But essentially, creating the dojo means you're finding a space that you feel comfortable writing in and trying to make it as comfortable and serene as possible. Part of that, so what that looks like is, maybe you see this corner. By the way, we don't live in a jailhouse. I know it looks like we live in a penitentiary with this cement block, but that's not exactly the situation. It's pretty much creating the dojo is just where you pretty much find your own personal space, and maybe it's a corner in your room, maybe it's a corner in your house, your apartment, or maybe it's a special place that no one knows about. And maybe you get it right, you make it comfortable, maybe you put a blanket over your chair. The idea in general is just making it as comfortable as possible. The other component to that is also making sure that you're comfortable and also you're free from distraction, right? So this means turning off your phone, putting it on silent. If you have some hours beat out where you just beat out from the day where you can just write, maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 4 hours even, you would then treat it like a job and you kind of put your phone, and you would, well, not kind of, you would put your phone on silent so that you can actually, get some writing done. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but my wife is actually scrambling through dishes because she's trying to get cooking because she loves her husband. Yeah, so distraction is imperative, especially for people who aren't really writers. There's not, especially for people who they're just trying to write a book. They may not necessarily be like adamant about the craft of writing. They just like they need to write a book. So I mean, you gotta kind of treat it like any other craft or anything that you need to focus on, anything that demands your attention. You gotta get alone, secluded, quiet. And I'm not necessarily getting into the whole thing where writers are like, oh, you have to be secluded, you have to be in your quiet place, da 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 da. This is ultimately about like what works for you. So, if and be honest with yourself, because as we say in the writing community, all good writing stems from truth. So you have to be honest with yourself if you know that you are easily distracted, or if you know what will easily pull you away from something. So maybe you're super disciplined, but if your favorite show is on, whatever your favorite show is, the Drag Race, Breaking Bad Part 2. There's no Part 2, but you gotta treat it like it's a real job, yo.